He saw an apple fall from a tree and asked the question that changed science forever. He lived through loneliness, curiosity, and discovery, turning questions into answers that shaped how we understand the world. This is the story of Isaac Newton, the man who discovered gravity and revealed the laws that govern the universe. Isaac Newton was born in 1643 in a small village called Woolsthorpe in England. He was a weak, quiet baby, so small that no one thought he would survive. But he did, and grew into one of the greatest minds in history. His father died before he was born, and his mother remarried and left him to live with his grandparents. Isaac was lonely, but he found comfort in books and in observing the world around him. He loved to build things: windmills, clocks, and even small machines that worked with water. From a young age, he was curious about how everything moved and worked. At school, Newton was not the best student at first. He was quiet and often lost in thought. But one day, when another boy bullied him, Isaac decided to study harder and soon became the best in his class. In 1661, he went to the University of Cambridge, where he studied mathematics, physics, and astronomy. He didn't talk much, but he thought deeply about everything: light, motion, time, and space. When a terrible plague spread across England, the university closed, and Newton returned home for 2 years. Those years became the most creative of his life. While at home, Newton watched an apple fall from a tree. He began to wonder, why did it fall straight down? What invisible force pulled it to the ground? Could that same force reach the moon, keeping it in its path around Earth? This simple observation led to one of the greatest discoveries in science: the law of gravity. He realized that the same force that makes an apple fall is the same force that controls the movement of the planets and stars. He called it universal gravitation because it affects everything, everywhere. Newton also studied motion, how things move, stop, and change direction. He wrote 3 simple rules, known today as Newton's 3 laws of motion. Every object stays still or keeps moving in the same direction unless something changes its motion. The more force you use, the faster an object moves. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. These laws explained how the world moves, from falling apples to flying rockets. But Newton's curiosity didn't stop there. He also studied light. He passed sunlight through a glass prism and discovered that white light is made of many colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. He built the first reflecting telescope, which used mirrors instead of glass lenses, making it smaller and clearer than any before. Through it, he could study the stars with amazing detail. In 1687, Newton published his most famous book, Principia Mathematica, one of the most important works in scientific history. In it, he explained the laws of motion, gravity, and the structure of the universe. It became the foundation for modern physics and guided science for more than 200 years. Albert Einstein later called it the greatest work of the human mind. Even with all his success, Newton lived a quiet and private life. He never married and often worked late into the night, surrounded by papers, experiments, and ideas. He also studied chemistry, alchemy, and religion, always searching for truth in every corner of knowledge. Later, he became the president of the Royal Society and even worked as a master of the Royal Mint, protecting England's money from counterfeiters. In 1705, Queen Anne knighted him, making him Sir Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton died in 1727 at the age of 84. He was buried in Westminster Abbey in London beside kings and queens, a fitting honor for a man who redefined the universe. Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." He taught the world that everything in nature follows rules we can discover if we ask the right questions. From a lonely boy in the countryside to the man who revealed gravity, light, and motion, Isaac Newton proved that curiosity can move the heavens. Thank you for listening. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more simple stories about people who changed the world.